going on? How's everybody doing today? We're in my kitchen. We're canning beans. It's harvest season. We picked a ton of beans. Over there, out of the camera range, I have, I don't know, probably 4 pounds of beans that are even too big to use. And I've got 4 pounds, 4 pounds, 2 ounces of beans right behind me. I've already put them in the jars, just to speed up the process of this. You guys don't really need to see a guy chopping up beans and throwing them in a jar, right? So what I've done is I've washed the beans, I've cut the ends off the beans, and I pre-weighed them because I keep track of everything that I harvest out of the garden over the season. I'm using wide mouth quart jars, and so we'll flip this camera around and I'll show you kind of where we're at. Right, so here we are. So we've already filled 6. We have 1 left to do. I've just got it sitting in a bowl here. We've already measured them out, so they're all even. But just for the sake of video and yada yada, for those of you who aren't used to canning, doing this just so you can kind of see what's happening. So, wide mouth jars, yellow beans, with a couple of green beans thrown in there. All we're gonna do is, and in case you're wondering the size, they're all, 1.5 to 2.5 inches long. It really depended on the length of the bean when we were after we cut the ends off, how much bean was left. So some of them got cut into 2, some of them got cut into 3. So I'm just gonna, wow, that's loud. Look at that over here. Sorry about that. Okay. So you want an inch of headspace. We have way less beans than an inch, but that's okay because we're going to top that up with water to an inch. Okay. Going to need some equipment. If you guys aren't used to canning, you're going to want one of these. Okay, it's got measurement increments on here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. Nah, camera's not picking it up. Anyways, engraved on here is measurements for measuring headspace. You're going to want one of those. You're going to want a canning funnel. You're going to want your canning tongs. Okay? And you're going to want your magnet. Over on the stove, here, we've got the pressure canner. You have to pressure can beans. Okay, you can't water bath can them. This water is already heating up. There's 3 quarts of water in there. We have, and these, that was close. Almost tipped over a whole box of salt. These are all brand new jars, and they've all been freshly washed, and the lids are in here in water. You don't want that water boiling. You just want it warm enough. We'll turn that back on again. We just want them warm enough that it softens up the rubber. Okay. And in the background, right there, are the quarts of dilly beans that I made earlier today from purple and green bush beans. You guys will be able to watch that video too. So if you're not subscribed, you really need to subscribe to the channel because we're going to be doing all kinds of awesome shit. Not only do I teach you how to grow the food, start the seeds, do all your training, all that kind of stuff, I teach you how to preserve it at the end of the season. So that's what we're doing today. Right. So we have our beans, right? Next, we're using Himalayan pink salt. I love this stuff. It's the only salt we use in the house. And in each jar, we need 1 teaspoon of salt. So we're just going to smash each one with a teaspoon. Like that. It ain't rocket science. Okay. And the reason I like pink Himalayan rock salt is because it has all kinds of super healthy minerals in it. So it's actually good for you. Besides the fact that you need salt in your diet, it's healthy to have all those extra minerals in. Next, behind me I have a kettle. So also, we are doing what's called a raw pack. You can do a hot pack for beans, but you have to blanch the beans for 5 minutes in water. I don't want to go that route. It is so much easier to just work with cold beans. And then we just top them up with water, boiling water. This kettle just clicked, right? So on here, here's my measurement. This notch here is our 1 inch for headspace. So you see? So we just bring the water up to the bottom of that. And then we just repeat. So I'm gonna do them all and I'll be right back. So we've got them all done, filled up. I did some off camera here because I had to fill my kettle up a couple of times. Right, so now that we've got them all topped up with 1 inch of headspace, take your debubbler, run it down the sides, and get the bubbles out. Once you have the bubbles out, take a cloth with some vinegar on it and wipe down the lip, because you don't want anything to get between that rubber seal and that lip. Then we put our lids on. Where's the other lid? Okay, well, I'll be right back. I need to find another lid. I don't know where it went. We're back. The lid was hiding. So put the lid on, and when you're tightening these down, all right, screw your band down, and then when you're tightening it, only tighten it until your fingers start to twist on your wrist. You don't want these tight because you need the air in here. You need the air in these jars to pressurize out when it's in the pressure canner. So we don't want the water in here boiling, but we want it hot. We also have the disc on the bottom to separate the jars from the bottom of the pot. And then we're just going to load these up. Once we get all these in here, we're going to turn the heat up for the pot. We're going to lock the lid down. We're going to get this going to the point where we're venting steam. Where we're venting steam for 10 minutes. And then once we're venting steam for 10 minutes, we're going to put our weight on the top, and we're going to pressure can this for 25 minutes. And I'm at 10 pounds of pressure here where I'm at. So we're just going to lock that down, crank the heat, like that, and now we wait. So it's going to take a bit of time for it to come up to heat, and then right out of this stem right here, we need to see a constant steam or a stream of steam for 10 minutes. And then once that happens, we're going to put that weight on. All right, see, we got a steady stream. Now we start a countdown clock for 10 minutes. So the 10-minute timer's up. Drop that on, and we're going to watch that gauge. We want it to hit 10 pounds right up top. So when it hits about 6 or 7 pounds, we're going to turn the heat down. And then once we hit 10 pounds, we're going to start a timer for 25 minutes. This will only take a couple minutes to get there. All right, we hit 25 minutes. We turn the heat off. We wait till it's naturally pressurized. We overshot the pressure by a pound or two, but so this right here is a lock. It's a mechanical lock inside the pot lid. So you know your pot is cool enough to open when this mechanical lock drops down. The steam pushes it up, and locks your pot lid. So I can't even open that right now if I wanted to, right? But when this drops back down, we'll be able to unlock that lid, and then we'll pull them out. Okay, you ready to do this? Let's do this. Look at that. Still bubbling. Oh, you hear that? They're already pinging. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I love that sound. Okay, there we go. Get that all in frame there for you guys. What do you say? Oh, it's a beautiful sight. 7 cans of beans for my family. And my beans should fruit at least once more before fall. And I need to make sure I get to them before they get too big, because I have a ridiculous amount left over. I'll get the box, just a minute. I'll show you guys what I ended up with left over. Look at all those beans. I can't even use them. They're all way too big. But the good news is, the really big ones, like this, I'll just dry out and I'll pull the seeds out and I'll be able to use them again next year. So when you're growing beans, you gotta stay on top of them, because a week and a half ago, there was almost nothing on these plants. Some of these beans are 8 inches long. So, all right, guys. So here's the final results. This is what I ended up doing today. We got 7 cans of beans done, pole beans. And then in the back here, we have 5 quarts of dilly beans. So those are purple and green bush beans. And these are Kentucky Wonder pole beans. So, super excited. It's starting. We're going to fill that pantry right up. All right, guys. Have an awesome night. It's 5 after 1 in the morning and I'm going to bed. So I hope you liked the video. Get the canning. Grow good food. You guys should really subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing all kinds of awesome, wicked stuff. So have a good night. See you later.